In the beginning, all we know is what we see and hear from the living humans around us. We are born into this life, free of oppression and free of judgment. In our first 8 years of consciousness, we are being coded by our interactions with our family and friends. At this point, we know of no other life, nor have the strength or knowledge to question our coding. It is simply just. Through the common people passed down through genetics. We've all heard the sayings throughout our lives when our personality traits are compared to that of our friends and family. It's often hard to comprehend when my mother tells me I have my father's stubbornness, a man who was never part of my upbringing. Many before and many to come will argue the debate over nature and nurture. However, I do not regard this as a debatable question, rather than a symbiotic relationship between a conscious being and its environment. I do not believe that I have somehow inherited my father's stubbornness, but through my mother's eyes and perception, that's how she understands my behaviour. Our memories of childhood are scattered throughout. Often we connect this part of our memory through a smell, an emotion, or an interaction. No one remembers the day-to-day life of a child. We only remember certain events as if it were a dream. I was very much a child of the 1990s, and for those who didn't grow up as a child at the turn of the new millennium, I offer this as a guide to understanding the world and environment that was created for us. Why our generation have become obsessive egomaniacs, controlled by fear and anxiety. Often when we observe a behaviour in others, we identify it with words. Each word has a very generic meaning. For example, if someone calls you selfish, you are instantly categorised in that moment of time as being perceived to be selfish, when in fact you were late because you got stuck holding the door for 50 people trying to be kind. These two simple words, both with contrasting meanings to represent one person with the exact same day. Throughout our lives, this labelling process appears in all aspects of our day-to-day experiences. For example, I am white, male, and have ginger hair. When I sit down to think about it, I have a very convoluted list of words to separate me from who I really am. As a child, however, we don't see the world like this. These labels become who we are, and our interactions with society then shape and image of how we believe the world sees who we are. When in truth deep down no one really sees who we are, because we are all hidden behind a human identity of labels.